Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the El Cajon City Council meeting. The meeting is now called to order, and I would like to ask our city clerk to please call the roll.
All council members present.
Great. Would you then stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief moment of silence? Bob McClellan, would you lead us, please? City clerk posted orders of adjournment of the February 13th, 2018 meeting and the agenda of the February 27th, 2018 meeting in accordance with state law and council authority successor agency to the redevelopment agency policy. Today we have a proclamation for Career and Technical Education Month, and I'd like to invite Walter Fritz, board chairman of the Associated Buildings and Contractors of San Diego, and Kevin Strahler, project manager for West Coast Air, to join us. And council, would you join me down below?
Thank you, Mayor and Council and staff. This is a proclamation for Career and Technical Education Month for February 2018. Whereas February 2018 has been designated Career and Technical Education Month by the Association for Career and Technical Education. Career and technical education provides the backbone of a strong, educated workforce, offering a path to career readiness and success by giving individuals the opportunity to acquire the skills necessary for a wide variety of professions and trades. And whereas career and technical education fosters productivity, innovation, and entrepreneurship in business and industry, and contributes to America's leadership in the global marketplace. The ever-increasing cooperative efforts of career and technical educators with business and industry stimulates the growth and vitality of the local economy and that of the entire nation by preparing graduates for career fields forecast to experience the largest and fastest growth in the next decade. And whereas business and industry nationwide, including in the city of El Cajon and San Diego County, report increasing challenges in addressing the skills gap and training qualified professionals in critical growing fields. The Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego Apprenticeship and Training Program prepares individuals for fulfilling careers as skilled construction craft professionals. And whereas construction, the second largest employer in the United States, is facing a shortage of talent, estimated to be 1.6 million people by 2022 nationwide, creating tremendous future job opportunities for skilled and trained construction craft professionals. As an organization devoted to producing a skilled and well-trained construction workforce, ABC San Diego encourages El Cajon residents, including women, veterans, and underrepresented groups, to consider a career in the construction industry. And whereas ensuring that employers, including those in the city of El Cajon, have access to a qualified workforce, and that's a crucial step in ensuring local prosperity for businesses, their employees, and their communities, which fosters continued American economic growth and global competitiveness. Now, therefore, Bill Wells, Mayor for the City of El Cajon, together with the City Council, do hereby proclaim February 1 through the 28th, 2018, as Career and Technical Education Month in the City of El Cajon, and urge all residents to become familiar with the services and benefits offered by the Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego, as well as other career and technical education programs in our region, and to support and participate in these programs to enhance our regional productivity and prosperity to the benefit of all. Signed this 27th day of February, 2018.
They're both very shy, but thank you. Thank you for coming. Congratulations. Thanks. City Council would like to. Staff, do you have any agenda changes?
No, sir.
Council members, any agenda changes? We are now at consent items. Consent items are routine matters enacted by one motion according to the recommendation listed below. With the concurrence of the City Council, a council member or person in attendance may request discussion of a consent item at this time. Council members, do you wish to pull any of the consent items? Staff, do you wish to pull any of the consent items?
No.
Angela, do we have any speaker cards for consent items?
No speaker cards.
It's going to be a quick day, guys. All right, then I'd like to make a motion then to approve the consent items. Moved and second, please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
At this time, any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council, Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time that the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, council, authority, and agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. Angela, do we have any cards under public comment?
We do. We have 6 speakers today, and the first one is Mr. Michael Feinstein.
Oh, Michael, I met you at Sandag. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Former mayor of Santa Monica, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mayor and Council Michael Feinstein, former mayor and city council member in Santa Monica, co-founder of the Green Party of California, and a 2018 candidate for Secretary of State. I'm here to share with you a proposal that I'm advancing to elect the state legislature differently than we do today, and how that would impact and improve the voice for residents of your city and for your city overall in regional planning. California has the lowest per capita representation in the United States. The size of our legislature was set in 1879 when we only had 865,000 people. Today we have 1 million per state Senate district. If we had carried forward that same ratio that we had in 1879, we'd have 5,000 people in the legislature today. I'm proposing 500 and elected according to this map here, where half the seats, 250, would be elected in smaller single-seat districts by ranked choice voting, as they use in Oakland and San Francisco. Ranked choice voting is where voters can rank all of their choices, and if their first choice doesn't get a majority, their vote goes to their second or third choice until ultimately the votes consolidate and one person does get a majority. The other seats would be elected in a multi-county, multi-winner district according to proportional representation. Proportional representation systems are those where a given percentage of the population, say they're 20%, they vote and they win 20% of the seats. This way everyone gets a seat at the table of the democracy, in contrast to our current single-seat winner-take-all system where only one group wins and everyone else loses. So how would this relate for your community? Certainly with a much larger legislature, numerically, we have a better chance of representing the diversity on the ground that is in this city and across our state. And within a proportional representation election, you would have both Republicans, Democrats from a district, also Greens, Libertarians, so you'd be having different perspectives that are within the population from a given area, all there at the seat of the table. But also for regional planning, right now your voice is expressed through Sandag. You have a whole lot lot of cities getting together. You talk there, then you try and lobby your state legislators. But your state legislators were not put into the legislature out of a regional public policy discussion. When you think about your RENA numbers, your regional housing needs assessment, how do you combine that with tax policy, transportation policy? We don't have those public policy discussions within the overall populace. Doing it this way would do that, and it would put different perspectives in the state legislature on those same issues, representing your diversity. So what I'm hoping you would do at a later meeting, I know you can't do it today on a non-agenda item, is to give direction to your staff to look at this issue and to talk with your state legislators. It would need to be put on the ballot by the state legislature and passed by a vote of the people. Thank you so much for your time.
Michael, thank you for coming. Let me see if there's any questions for you. Any questions? Interesting proposal. It might make a lot of sense.
Thank you. I
Good
really
luck.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Jim Sirigliano.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council, officials. As you know, I'm from Villanova Mobile Home Manufactured Park, and this is a continuing discussion about our application on the Municipal Code 5.82, which is for rent mediation, okay, in the city of El Cajon. I'd like to recognize I have a few people from my park here also to give us support. A quick update. Last February 21st, members of my board, which we call Senior Residents Association in the park, we did meet with City Manager, Mr. Wilford, along with Tony Shute of the Community Development Department. And I'd like to thank both these gentlemen for a very informative, transparent, and when I say transparent, I mean honest and very informed meeting. Thank you very much. And then moving on about the continuing process here. We hope by tomorrow we will be mailing out 8 letters as far as the application goes for this mediation process. So that's a good thing. That means that hopefully within the next 30 days, I believe, we'll have some kind of mediation process going, and we'll have an outcome to this. I just came from a SMOAC meeting in Santee, and like I've mentioned previously, these people there have been of great guidance to us because they've been through this for many, many, many years. But they help us out, and if you don't mind, I'd just like to read something that I wish I had, authored this year. But it comes from Mr. Buddy Rabaya, who is the president of SMOAC, and it's just simply attitude, and that can apply to all of us here. It's very brief. It says, and it's not just about seniors, even though the first line implicates that. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude in life. Attitude is more important than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It would make or break an organization, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. Life is 10% what happens and 90% how we react to it. And so it is with you. You are in charge of your attitude. And I think this is hopefully represents what we're trying to do, not only with this rent mediation, but for all of us. And I sincerely mean that. And right now, if anyone has any questions about the rent mediation process that we're doing right now, I would welcome it.
Let me see if there's any questions for you. Thank you for coming, sir. Appreciate
And
it.
thank you all again. Bye-bye.
Mr.
Richard-
Feinstein? Hold on, oh, he's leaving. Thank you. But, goodbye, Mayor, thank you.
Richard Graydon.
Mr. Graydon, welcome.
Mayor, council, and staff. I've been here numerous times, and I have always asked that the city provide work for the homeless and everything, and also for veterans. As a veteran, 70% disabled, I had a background where I did things. I was in the Army, I came back, I was worked in the library, I was worked in the probation office, and I was a teacher and everything. We have a lot of veterans that have problems, and it causes them to become homeless. And as you can see, some of the things here about a lot of the veterans, suicidal, because they don't have either the background or because of problems. And so we need to help them. And as was told, that we have construction coming up. A lot of them can go, given a little help, can go into construction. Plus other people that are on the street that also can be helpful in that. And plus San Diego, where they have people over here, one woman especially, picking up trash. We could have had that for some of the people, which would have given them a chance to see themselves in a more positive light. And we need to do that because we have people that are committing suicide and other people that can't get ahead. Plus what we have, and I saw when I was going to one of the markets, supermarkets, a woman with 3 of her children that was asking for money. She didn't have any money, and she was basically homeless. I have asked time and time and again to have apartments, 3 to 5 stories, built for these people. If you have a husband that has a family, they have a hard time trying to get a job if they have to try to take care of their family, first of all. And so we need to do that. And we have land that is owned by the city that we can build these apartments. This is the most important. Veterans and families, homeless families. Then we have other people that are homeless. Some of them have problems due to drugs and alcohol. And that would take a little longer time to do. But that would be helpful. And as I said before, if I didn't have a background that helped me, I could have been on the street too. But I had a family that determined. And the thing was, after the Army, and I was starting to hurt and everything, and all the things, I went back to school. But you have a lot of these people that come back from the armed forces that go through a lot of things. And they are homeless. They lose their families. They go on the street. And a lot of them commit suicide. So we need to do something.
Thank you, Mr. Graydon. We're going to have to wrap
Thank
it
you.
up, though.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Mr. Mayor, I thought I would mention, the city actually does do some of that. The city does, with our downtown partners, employ homeless people. They do pick up trash as well as a lot of things. In downtown, they are employed out of East County Traditional Living Center, and I think as the city council knows, the city of El Cajon is the largest funding contributor to the downtown partners. We have a huge role in employing homeless in this city.
Thanks for mentioning that.
Our next speaker is Anna Hartman.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. My name's Anna Hartman, and I'm the principal librarian at the El Cajon Library over on 201 East Douglas. And I just wanted to let you know what's going on at the library these days.
Fantastic.
So we have lots of programs for all ages. We have cooking classes for adults. We have tech help, where we help with anything from signing up for a Gmail account to learning how to use an e-reader. We have programs for teens where they do cooking classes and learn how to cook for their future adulthood. We also have volunteer opportunities for teens. We have family programs such as Jam Session, where people come in and just play music with the instruments that they have or that we have at the library. Recently, though, we did revamp our Storytime program, so every week or every day, Monday through Saturday, we have programs for children ranging from baby story time on Thursdays to preschool story time on Wednesdays to books and boogies and dance party. And we also have a homework and hangout program where we have homework help for kids who are kindergarten through 8th grade. We also have, during the same time, crafts and physical activity opportunities so that the whole family can come to those programs, and the kids who need the help with the homework can get the help. That program is actually all run by teens. So that's what's going on at the library right now, and I'm open for questions.
Let me see if there are any questions. Questions?
Do you have this kind of information published on a website or something people can know about?
We have our website. It's www.sdcl.org, and then you just have to select the El Cajon Library. But you can also see all the other programs at all of our other locations on there as well.
And you're the new director of the library?
I'm the principal librarian of the El Cajon Library. I'm one of 8 people in my position, and we oversee all the different branches.
And your name again is?
Anna Hartman.
Anna. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We have 3 more speakers, and Kathy Hilton.
Hi, Ms. Hilton. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for serving this community, which I'm kind of partial to.
Good.
I'm here today as a commissioner for the 2nd District on the status of women and girls. And we're trying to get out to the communities, to the city councils, and personally allow or let you know that we exist. And we've been in existence since 1975. The current commissioners for the past 3 years have been working on 3 initiatives, and they're near and dear to all our hearts: homelessness, domestic violence, sex trafficking. Not easy topics to work on, not comfortable for me. I served as the chair for the domestic violence for 1 year, and I said, that's it, I'm done. And they said, you can't leave. I said, yes, I can. This is too depressing. You know, I had the privilege of going out to the broader San Diego community, and my heart goes out to all the troops on the ground, the people that are in the ranks working with all these problems, trying to help people. I'm proud of East County, and I let that be known when I attend the commission meetings, particularly the Homeless Task Force in East County. I'm proud of the Transitional Housing Center, Salvation Army. We have a lot of wonderful things here in El Cajon. I do, and I'm grateful to hear about the jobs, Doug, because I just am watching what's happening in San Diego. The problem isn't just here in El Cajon. Obviously, it's huge throughout the United States of America. But the commission is appointed, we're 2 people from each supervisor's district. So we try to get a feel for what's going on in the entire county. And then we're also policy suggesters to the County Board of Supervisors. Now, the County Board of Supervisors currently has task force on sex trafficking, domestic violence, and homelessness. So collectively, I mean, we've got all these cities, and we've got the county and the community. We just need to do a better job connecting with one another. And I'm here today to invite you, all of you, anybody in the entire room is welcome. It'll be on our website that the 3rd symposium will be presented by the Commission Saturday, April 21st at Qualcomm Auditorium. And it'll be from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And everyone is welcome. So if you have anybody that you think might be interested, try to get them out. We're always preaching to the choir. I'm trying to go beyond the people that know about the problems and I'm going to try to get PTA moms, and I'm going to go to the school district next. The other thing that I am proud of, through cooperation with when I went up to Los Angeles, and I was the domestic violence chair for San Diego, this caught my eye. And I said, is it possible for us to get this for San Diego County? So they said yes. So with the cooperation of the district attorney's office, we did get over 3,000 of these booklets published and in Spanish and English, and they are available on our website and the district attorney's website in an electronic version. Thank you, and I have these for all of you. Okay?
Thank you very much. You can give those to the city clerk, and let me see if there's any questions for you. Ben?
Kathy,
Hi.
you and I go back years.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know, Kathy is instrumental in various groups, connecting people, like she was saying. That's her job, making sure everybody is in the know of what's happening, and her heart really is with East County. And obviously the stuff that you've touched on today is super important. You're the best spokeswoman for this job to come here and tell everybody. You and I have broke bread and spoke on every topic, and you are just a great person. I wanted everybody to know, and thank you for all the hard work. I haven't seen you in a while, so I hope it looks like you're doing great.
Thank you, and I'm delighted to be where I am. My journey started in New England with Nation at Risk. You all know my passion is children, but they're all connected, so thank you. Thank you, Ben.
And if there's anything else you need from me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
David Chenoweth. And Mr. Chenoweth brought a handbook for council.
Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. I brought all of you a gift. That's a CSR report regarding our flag code. My name is David Chenoweth. I'm a resident here in El Cajon. I'm a United States Navy veteran of 12 years and a holder of the American Spirit Honor Award. I would like to draw your attention to pages 13 and 14 of our flag code. If you'll pardon me for a moment. The flag code addresses the use of the flag as an article of personal adornment, a design on items of temporary use, and an item of clothing. The evident purpose of these suggested restraints is to limit the commercial or common usage of the flag and thus maintain its dignity. The code also states that the flag should never be used for advertising purposes. If you'll pardon a personal interjection, I don't believe it should be used as a unique branding tool of any type whatsoever. The flag code also states that the flag should not be used for advertising purposes in any manner whatsoever. Wearing the colors may be in poor taste and offensive to many. It is important to remember that the flag code is intended as a guide and to be followed on a purely voluntary basis and to ensure proper respect to the flag. Every time I've pledged allegiance, I've done so voluntarily. I did so by serving our country as a United States Navy veteran for 12 years. It's over 3,080 days. At a time, I made a wager that I'd come home in one piece alive. I want you to know that I find it offensive that we would display pictures of councilmen with the flag around their neck as a tie, and that would wear that during a city council meeting. And as a veteran, I feel well within my rights to make this statement. So I'd ask that you resolve yourselves to the spirit of our flag code, as I've given you this afternoon. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Let me see if there's any questions for you. Any questions? Yeah, Ben.
I just want to say thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question, sir. A lot of times people wear flag pins, metal pins. How do you feel about that?
I think that that's fine, because that's, as you'll read the code, well within what we as a country have accepted as a personal adornment. There's a spot on the lapel it's supposed to be on. It's left side. I'm okay with that. I like seeing that. I like knowing that an official has an affinity for our tradition in this country, and that's what it means to me when I see his flag. Doesn't mean that he's a patriot, doesn't mean he's a veteran, doesn't mean he even believes in our ideals, but he means that he in some way is connected to our flag. I like that, as opposed to him being connected to someone else's flag.
Sure.
Okay? So I think it has a purpose as a personal adornment. Is there anything else I might express?
No, but I was curious about that, though. So thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Last speaker, Stephanie Harper.
Stephanie, welcome.
Hi. I'm so sorry I was late. I was going to use this earlier for the items 1.9, our mid-year financial plan, so I'm going to use my public comment time to do that. I just went over just the administrative part of it. Administrative services have jumped from last budget from this budget to this budget, $7,255. Our police administration budget has jumped $1,131,872. The fire administration has jumped $196,513. Our public works administration, $244,160. Housing and SA administration, $23,808. Wow, that's just the administrative. So I know that we're trying to go paperless, so I'm not too sure where all of those jumps with that big of an amount would be from. And then I look down here, our local public safety program went down $72,060. I would think that that would be something that would go up. That's just saying that we're spending less on our public safety and more on our administrative, and that's where we spend most of our budget at. And I was just wondering why we have such a big jump.
See if there's any questions for you. Any questions? I'm sure somebody from the city manager's office could meet
Mr.
with
Mayor,
you.
yeah,
Would you like to
there's
address
obviously a
them?
lot of detailed questions there. If you would like to address the email, we'll answer it in full. These are mostly a series of the amount in public safety overall has gone up because of salaries. Most of the salaries or grants, they come in under administrative and the city budgets grants. So, but we'd be happy to answer it in detail.
Okay.
What I can tell you is that we have a balanced budget and a $40 million reserve, so we're being fiscally prudent.
Okay, because when I was reading the budget, it said that we were like 20% under. No, that's not correct.
I'm sorry, 20%.
It said that we were 20% under our normal, that we're above what we should be.
Reserve? Actually, we're significantly higher. What was our normal reserve?
Our reserve has been going up steadily. Actually, our projections that are shown in the item is by the end of this fiscal year, which is in 4 months, we expect to have a reserve of over $43 million. Our revenue is higher in each of the past 10 years than our expenditures.
The reason we're keeping such a high reserve, much, much higher than we need to, is because we're preparing for a future recession. We want to make sure we don't have to lay anybody off. So we're trying to be prudent I appreciate you being a watchdog and making sure we're not spending too much money.
Always. Okay, I wanted to say congratulations on your run for the 50th Congress.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No more cards.
Okay. There are no written communications. Item 3.1 is a public hearing on delinquent refuse collection charges. And I'd like to ask staff to tell us about this. Here's Dirk, who makes this kind of stuff exciting.
Well, we're talking about trash today, and it's an exciting, very exciting topic.
I'm excited to hear
I have a
about
lot to live up to, apparently. So for those of you who do not know our process, council members and mayor, I would just like to run through a quick overview of why we have this public hearing item before you today. Our municipal code requires us to bring this before you for consideration to put delinquent refuge collection charges as a lien against the property. And this is for unpaid refuge charges. We have currently 472 delinquent accounts, and these accounts have been noticed. So there has been a process. This isn't the first time that people should be hearing about this. We bring these, we send out notices in conjunction with Waste Management, and these notices will go out as past due invoices, and also these notices will go to, if it's a rented property, will go to the property owner as well. So we have given them an opportunity. In fact, this number has gone down. I just received a text message that it went from 473 to 472 as of 20 minutes ago. So people are paying these off, and we're getting up to the last minute. I scratched it out and put 472. So away we go, and we are here for your consideration to add these through a public hearing process and add these liens to the property. And if they are not paid off by once a year, these will be sent to the county assessor to be assessed on the property taxes if they are left unpaid. So at this time, it is only a lien. It can still be paid off and removed. And if it has not been done, has not happened before it's near the end of the summer when the county assesses these, then it will go to an assessment.
Thank you. Any questions? Steve?
Something new this time is that normally there's been a $25 fee passed to the person on the list for recording. And thanks to our state legislature, in its infinite wisdom of SB 1 by Atkins called the Building, Homes, and Jobs Act, there's an additional $75 on top of that this time. So the fee has quadrupled for these folks from $25 to $100. And the $75 is ironically called the Building, Homes, and Jobs Act, and it's punishing the very people who probably can't afford this in the first place. I just note for the public the irony of that additional fee in this.
Where does that fee come from?
Senator Atkins, SB 1 last year.
That's SB 1? Okay. Well, thank you, California legislature. So, any other questions? All right. The public hearing is now open. Angela, do we have any speaker cards?
No speaker cards.
All right, then I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing. Dirk, I think we're set. Thank you. Moved and seconded. Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
All right. Any further discussion, or would someone like to make a motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
All right. Item 3.1 is a public hearing on delinquent sewer collection charges. I'd like to ask staff to tell us about this. Back for the sequel.
The sequels are always better, right? Yeah. Well, in similar fashion to the refuge collection charges, we have delinquent sewer service charges, and these are in similar fashion. We have sewer charges that have been unpaid, and therefore we are proposing through this hearing to add 349 delinquent sewer accounts to the liens on the properties. And again, SB 2 has that same charge. It's a similar fashion as to the refuge collection. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions on this? Well, I didn't think you could do it, but you made that even more exciting than the last time. So thank you. Appreciate it, Dirk. Okay, any questions? Council, no questions. Public hearing is now open. Angela, do we have any speaker cards?
We do not have any speaker cards.
All right, then I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing. Move in second, please vote. If there's no further
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
If there's no further discussion, somebody like to make a motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
Item 4.1 is a report on a donation made to the Salvation Army, and I'd like to ask staff to introduce this item.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, last April, the City Council authorized a grant to the Salvation Army for a seniors holiday gift program. One of the conditions of the grant was that before the end of February this year, that the Salvation Army return to the City Council with a report to talk about how they utilized the $5,000. And Captain Sean Kelsey is here this afternoon to provide that report and to answer any questions that you may have.
Hi, Captain. Welcome.
Hi, Mayor.
Thanks for coming.
City Council and staff, thanks for having me tonight. Yeah, I promised I'd be back, so here I am. And the little red light will tell me when I'm done, right?
You know, you're a captain, and I'm not gonna have the red light on you. So you do what you have to do.
Okay. Well, hopefully, I think I've got some slides. I wanted to show you some photos of the presentation we put together for you tonight. Just to let you know that we were thrilled to be able to be a part of this. Thank the city for allowing us to be to even do things with our seniors even more this last Christmas. So let's go to the next slide, if you would. With a $5,000 grant from the city of El Cajon, we were able to assist 82 seniors this winter season. These seniors were identified through various areas, but particularly our family services, senior nutrition program, and also our Silvercrest, which is on site at the Salvation Army there on Main Street. We also looked to outreach to homeless seniors in our community as well, and also those low-income seniors that are living in, and targeting those seniors who are living in those areas in low-income housing, such as Carroll's Residential Care, Bella Rosa Mobile Home Park, El Cajon Mobile Home Park, and several others. Those are just a few that we listed. All recipients were determined to be low-income seniors. Next slide, please. 42 of these seniors were interviewed individually and asked what items they would most want and needed. The list was then made, and we attempted to fulfill this list as best as we could. And it was amazing. I would say we probably somewhere between 90 and almost 100 seniors that we talked to and came in contact with that we identified as low income, and just asked them, you know, if this would be something that they would like to participate. Is there something that they need this Christmas season? And out of those seniors that we targeted, 42 of them were the ones that we actually sat down with and interviewed and helped. And it's amazing. You know, most of these seniors, when you ask them if they need something, you know, it's usually, you know, honey, I'm doing just fine. And then you go over to their home or find out a little bit more about what their needs are. You find that there's so many areas that we could be helping our seniors, and so it was really a nice thing to be able to be a part of. 40 of the seniors were provided with hygiene items such as socks, blankets. Items were provided to seniors ranging from hygiene items, cleaning supplies, clothing, blankets, heaters, kitchen items, medical supplies, and mattresses. And also we helped one senior with getting some tires for their vehicle. There were 17 volunteers, and we used 8 staff to do this. And I identified the seniors and also packing them and then taking those items out. We had a lot of shut-in seniors that we actually took the items out to. And so I have a list here of quite a few of the items that we gave out on the next slide, and you can see the list here from silverware for the kitchen. I don't know if people still use fanny packs, but one senior needed a fanny pack that was worn out. Actually, this individual, all their clothes were worn out, and we were able to provide not just the fanny pack, but also clothing for this senior. The rolling suitcase was an item, and also in one of the stories that I'll be sharing with you as well. This senior is somebody that you probably could identify in the community. Walks around normally with a lot of bags on them, and they carry their clothing and personal items with them because they feel that the place that they're staying, the housing that they're in, is insecure. And so we provided a rolling suitcase for him so that he could walk around with his belongings in that rolling suitcase. I have listed the car tires. The stockings, another story that I'll be sharing as well. $200 for these stockings for the senior, and she just could not afford to pay for those herself. And so because of this grant, because of the gift, we were able to provide that nice Christmas gift for that senior this year. And then the list goes on: clothing, pajamas, jackets and sweaters, and quite a few heaters. A lot of our seniors are living in conditions where they don't have heat, and so they can't pay for propane or the gas bill, so we were able to provide some space heaters for quite a few of the seniors as well. And the list goes on there. Any questions on that list there?
No, thank you.
Before I move on? Okay. I just wanted to share just a couple stories on the next page, if I could. And I'll just read them for everybody. It says, one gentleman lived in a facility where his belongings were often stolen. Because of this, he carries everything in his own bags. We're able to give him a few pants, belts, shirts, socks, and small rolling suitcase to carry his belongings. One man has been undergoing radiation for his neck, and he said that he got a cold, but his neck was extremely sensitive. He received a warm coat and also a nice soft scarf. One very elderly woman had been sleeping on a mattress that had been worn. She could feel the wood platform of the mattress that she was laying on, so she received a brand new mattress with a new blanket for her bed. Also, last story is one woman with diabetes needed the ulcer care stockings for both legs. Her insurance does not cover these, so we were able to give her a full set. So just a nice story. Just a couple pictures of some of the folks taking some of the items out to our seniors. I don't have time to play the audio, but we had quite a few seniors call our facility thanking us this last Christmas for the gifts, and quite a few of them were, people calling, holding back tears, just saying that this Christmas was just so much special this year because of the kind donation and the kind gifts that they received through this grant that we received from the city. And also just want to thank the city. We were extremely blessed to be able to participate in this. We do care for our seniors and do a lot of different things, whether it's food for our seniors during the Christmas season, and then to be able to have this gift to be able to help seniors with gifts was a really nice treat, and all the staff and volunteers that were part of it were truly blessed. And I'll let you know, as I was leaving to come here, those that were participating said that if we could do this next year, they would love to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Captain. Let me see if there's any questions for you. Ben?
Captain, thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah.
I know this was a challenging task because I did something similar earlier with the El Cajon elves, and I noticed that the hygiene items and the clothing were proportionately larger. That was the items that everybody wanted, and so that makes me feel good because when we did that, that was the thing we had most of. So yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Seniors have a place in my heart, and keep doing what you're doing. $5,000 is a drop in the bucket to help seniors, in my opinion. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other? Captain, thank you very much.
Right.
Please pass along to your staff and volunteers our appreciation.
All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to take a short break. We'll come back in about 5 minutes. Public hearing, but just ask for speaker cards. Angela?
We have one, Stephanie Harper.
Ms. Harper, welcome.
It's okay. This organization is doing all these wonderful things they have done and truly helped as many people as they have helped. I believe that we could do more. I believe that if we can give raises every year to the top paid city executives, then we should be able to give a little more than $5,000 to this awesome organization. We need to show how much we appreciate all they do for our community. So I would like to request that one of you five please make a motion to raise the donation amount to $10,000. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Appreciate that. Are there any other cards?
No more cards.
Okay. Well, council, is there any discussion about that item? No discussion? And I don't think we have to take any vote, do we?
There's no action, sir.
Okay.
If we did raise it to 10,000, they could help a lot more people probably. But
I think it's a good idea. Somebody should put it on the agenda.
I'll do that.
Okay, well, Bob,
Yeah.
you're in charge of it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ben will help.
See, Stephanie, Bob's going to take up your calls already, so it's good. Item 4.2 is a proposal for 2 additional sworn police officers and modification to the police officer's classification. Staff, would you tell us about this, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last summer, the City Council directed staff to consider what we would generically were referring to as 2 park rangers to patrol not just Wells Park, but the rest of our city parks. And we are referring to those park ranger positions in this item as PSO 2. PSO is Police Service Officer. We currently have 13 of those positions. They assist the police department for many years in a lot of non-sworn activities and duties throughout the city of El Cajon. So our proposal is to take 2 of those PSO positions, upgrade them slightly, and they will become what we were referring to last summer as the park ranger positions. We have now gone through the Personnel Commission, discussed this with the responsible unions, and we are prepared for council action on that item. And if you approve it, we will recruit and hire immediately. Along with those conversations the chief of police and myself were having late last summer and into the autumn was taking a broader look at the PSO positions and what they're used for now versus maybe 15 or 20 years ago, and looking at the needs that the police department has and is called upon in the city right now. And out of that additional discussion comes our second recommendation, which is to take 3 of those positions, all of which are vacant right now, PSO positions, and to remove them and instead replace them with 2 additional sworn police officers. The reason we're doing that trade is 3 for 2. That pretty much makes this a net zero financially, and as the council knows, we're always very concerned about our bottom line budget for staff. The police chief and myself very much believes that along with the other adjustments and increases that the staff report outlines the City Council has made in the police department over the past few years, this will greatly assist, particularly the community policing needs that our city police department is so much involved with in this day and age. This would raise our sworn number of officers in the budget to 126, which would put us right at the regional median as far as number of officers per 1,000 population. That concludes our report. We'd be happy to answer any questions the City Council has. Thank you.
Council, any questions? These police officers, they would be focused on the park area?
The park rangers will be focused on the park rangers. The police officers, this is true with all the officers, will be used as the chief of police deems best.
Okay.
What that really means is, yes, they will be focused on our parks, but they'll be focused on a lot more than just our parks.
And the park rangers, are they going to be walking the parks or riding on bikes, or how does that work?
Any way the chief feels is the most efficient.
Okay.
They will be spending, as we were focusing on all the problems with Wells Park last summer, which has had a tremendous improvement, by the way. I'm out there, and Graham's out there on a regular basis walking the entire parks. But at any rate, we still have challenges, and some of our other parks have some challenges, so they will be rotating, but their kind of headquarters, if you will be at Wells Park in that trailer, and someday we're going to turn that trailer into a permanent building, and that's a future agenda item that's in the not-too-distant future.
Well, sounds like a good proactive measure. Steve?
What's the difference in job responsibilities of PSO 2 versus PSO 1?
I'll ask Graham to get into the details.
Right now, a PSO 1 has no ability to write citations. They can't enforce the municipal code through the writing of a citation. There's a certain training that accompanies that. The PSO 2 or the park rangers will have that capacity. So if they see someone drinking in public, if they see someone with a dog without a leash, they can actually write a citation, where the current PSO does not have that ability to do that.
And there will be additional training, because we know that these park rangers will be dealing with a part of our population that sometimes is difficult to deal with.
Any other questions? Okay. Angela, do we have any speaker cards for this item?
No cards.
All right, is there any further council discussion, or would somebody like to make a motion? Bob?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
All right, there are no commission reports on today's agenda. Item 6.1 is my activities, as reported. And item 6.2 is the legislative report. Over the past few city council meetings, there have been no legislative updates. However, state bills are being moved forward, and the League is beginning to analyze these bills. This report presents two bills I recommended that the city council oppose. First, Senate Bill 827 is opposed by the League of Cities. This bill takes away local land use authority for proposed housing projects near transit centers, such as a trolley stop. Under this bill, a proposed housing project would be exempt from the city's regulations on density, building height, and parking and design standards. Ultimately, this bill takes away the public's ability to weigh in on projects for the city and to ensure a project meets our high standards. Secondly, Senate Bill 946 will prohibit cities from enforcing rules that regulate or prohibit sidewalk vendors. The bill states that cities cannot restrict the location of sidewalk vendors, prohibit a licensed vendor from selling food or merchandise in the park, and restrict the overall number of sidewalk vendor licenses issued. And I'm concerned that if this bill were to be adopted as law, it could have a significant impact on our existing businesses. Any questions about these issues?
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Please vote.
Motion carries by a 4-1 vote with Councilmember Kalasho abstaining.
Okay. Sorry. My equipment's falling apart. I think we need to invest in some modern equipment there. So, okay. Mayor Pro Tem Gary Kendrick, your activity report.
As reported.
Councilmember Ben Kalasho.
Skip Bob.
I skipped Bob, but Bob, I'm sorry. And Ben.
As I've reported them.
And Steve.
As reported.
There are no joint councilmember reports and no general information items for discussion. There are no readings of ordinances at this time. There are no closed session items on today's agenda, so this brings us to the adjournment. The adjourned regular joint meeting of the El Cajon City Council, El Cajon Housing Authority successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 27th day of February 2018, is adjourned until Tuesday, February 27th, 2018 at 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you very much. And I'll ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
All council members present.
Great. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or remain standing for a moment of silence? Ben, would you lead us to the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Staff, do you have any agenda changes? Council, any agenda changes? At this time, any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council, Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time that the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, council, authority, and agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. Angela, do we have any cards under public comment?
We only have one, Moline Schrader. Sorry.
Hi, welcome.
Hi there. I'm going to explain, before we start here, I'm at a very big disadvantage. You have hearing devices for the hard of hearing, but I'm almost deaf. and they don't help me. So I'm speaking to you without being able to hear you guys. And so this is kind of hard. But it'd be really nice if you had captioned monitor up here. Voice recognition programs are very inexpensive. And one monitor from Costco, a couple $100, and you could make all the deaf people in this community very happy. So with that being said, I'm Molly Schrader, and I'm a resident of El Cajon. And I've been here about 20 years. I've seen change slowly. But why do people come to El Cajon? Not for much. I came here to get a single-story house so my mom, who's in a wheelchair, would have handicap access. But that's been 20 years, and she's long gone. Why am I still here? It's a pretty nice climate here. And the one thing that I do realize in this neighborhood, that we have a very nice downtown area, and I bike a lot. I may not look like it, but I actually bike all the way to the Embarcadero downtown.
Wow.
So it's a very easy thing to do is bike, and this is the perfect community for it. It's flat, and the weather's usually nice, not this cold. But we have some of the worst roads that I encounter anywhere. There's no reason I should be jarring my fillings loose on Johnson or breaking an axle loose on Johnson. We have really bad roads. Why not market this town as a biking community? Right now, the bikers all gather together in La Mesa, and they go right through El Cajon to Alpine. Nobody ever stops here. Why can't we have them stop? Let's market towards the bikers. I'm sure you guys have seen me bike. You can't miss me when I bike. I ride that big, gigantic orange thing, and, you know, I tootle everywhere, probably 100 miles a week or more. We need to make the community bike-friendly. Not everybody here in this town is poor. Not everybody is homeless, and a lot more people ride bikes than you think. It's the perfect community for bike riding. I would love to help out. I have a list of bad streets here that are horrible, not just bad. I'll give it to the clerk.
Please do.
And I would love to help out with any other programs that you have to make this a better community for this, because all we have now drawing folks here are the car shows and the farmers market and the concerts on the green. Why not have something that's year-round? Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No more cards.
Okay. All right, get right to the main event. Item 101 is a public hearing on fiscal year 2018 through 2019, CDBG and home allocations for the one-year action plan. Staff, would you explain this to us, please?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Well, again, it's that time of the year, and when the Council plans for the CDBG and home funds allocation from Housing and Urban Development, HUD. As the Council knows, these federal funds must be used for eligible projects and programs that benefit low and moderate income individuals and households in El Cajon. So as a reminder, CDBG funds are used for community development activities and public facility improvement projects, and home funds can be used solely to assist in providing affordable housing opportunities. So in order to receive these funds, El Cajon maintains a 5-year consolidated plan which describes the community needs, goals, and priorities for the use of these funds, which are to provide decent and affordable housing, promote equal housing opportunities, support a continuum of care for the homeless, provide community facilities and infrastructure, and provide community and supportive services. So to implement the 5-year consolidated plan, the city must annually prepare and adopt a 1-year action plan, and that's what we're starting tonight. And this specifies how the CDBG and home resources will be allocated in that year. So this slide here shows the historical funding that the city has received since fiscal year 2013-14. We're generally around, for CDBG, 1.1 to 1.2 million. And for home funds, we're in the low 400,000s. So we're estimating that for this coming fiscal year, we'll be in generally the same neighborhood. So we're estimating 1.2 million for CDBG and about 420,000 for home.
Now, as Council is aware, federal regulations restrict how this money can be expended. So for the CDBG program, there's no more than 20% may be used for planning and administrative activities. No more than 15% may be used for public service activities. And there are no maximums established in the amount of the CDBG allocation that may be awarded for public facilities and capital and other projects. So on this slide here, you see how, here's an example based on the estimation of $1.2 million for CDBG funding categories. So again, 20% cap on planning and administration, that would be about $240,000. Public services, that limits us to $180,000. And for capital, $780,000. Now, staff has identified that there's additional CDBG funds that can be made available in the amount of $200,000. This can be made only available to public facilities, capital projects. These additional CDBG funds come from funds that are allocated to programs and projects in prior years. So these are some project savings that have accumulated over the past couple of years, or maybe project cancellations or miscellaneous program income that's been paid back to the city as an example as a result of a mobile home rehab loan. So I don't have an example here for the home program, but their limitations are that no more than 10% can be used for planning and administration, and there's a minimum requirement of 15% has to be reserved for an eligible affordable housing activity conducted by a CHODO or a community housing development organization. And as an example, San Diego Habitat for Humanity is a CHODO. The home program mandates that 10% of the set aside for, that the remaining balance then is used for our home programs like first-time home buyer assistance. So with that, kind of brief background, the recommended CDBG allocations are as follows. So again, 20% for CDBG will go to admin. That also includes fair housing services provided by Center for Social Advocacy, and that's the amount of $25,000. For public facilities or capital projects, Phase 2 for Wells Park in the amount of $500,000. ADA ramps and sidewalks throughout the city where there is need, an amount of $250,000. Home of Guiding Hands is about a little over $28,000. Crisis house security fencing, this is help preserve a city asset that's utilized by Crisis House, and of late has experienced some compromise. So there's additional security fencing that's needed to preserve this asset, and about $20,000 there. Little House has some enhancements proposed for their building, and we're recommending funding for that. Habitat for Humanity has a neighborhood revitalization program where they find qualifying households in neighborhoods here on the valley floor that could benefit from perhaps new roof or new windows. And then the $100,000 is dedicated to the housing rehab program targeting mobile home rehab for a total of $980,000. And for our public services, again, we have $180,000 to work with. About $51,000 is being recommended for the crime-free multi-housing program, the emergency shelter program that's operated by ECTLC, again, $100,000. Meals on Wheels, $10,000. St. Madeline Sophie Center job placement for their clients, about $9,000, and the Interfaith Rotational Shelter Program, $10,000. And that brings us to a total CDBG allocation of $1.4 million. And our recommended home allocations on $420,000 is again for admin. There's also a component of the home that goes to fair housing services to be provided by Center for Social Advocacy. And then the 15% required reserve for a CHODO of $63,000. And then the remaining balance of $315,000 goes into the housing program pool of funds for first-time homebuyer assistance and single-family rehab. And that gives us $420,000. So as the council recalls, this is the first step in a two-step process. First public hearing is tonight, where we recommend that City Council open the public hearing and accept testimony. They approve the proposed CDBG and home allocations. and then staff will go back and prepare the one-year action plan, and then we'll reconvene after a public review period of that action plan on April 24th, where the City Council will be asked to approve the final allocations and adopt the one-year action plan. After those steps, we will forward the one-year action plan to HUD for their approval, and then we'd expect funds to be available sometime after July 1st. And staff is available to answer any questions.
Thanks, Tony. Okay, Council, do you have any questions for Tony right now? So, I may have misunderstood you. On the attachment 2, city public facilities, did you say something about an extra $200,000?
Yes, Mayor, that's correct. There's $200,000 of program income, project savings from previous projects that we can make available to capital projects.
That's not in this equation?
It is.
Okay, so for example, the $500,000 going to Wells Park, in essence, $200,000 is from previous.
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Okay. The public hearing is now open. Angela, do we have any speaker cards?
We do. We have 6 speakers tonight, and the first one is Estela de los Rios.
Hi. Welcome back.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. I'm here again. I'd like to thank you once again for allowing CSA San Diego County to be your fair housing provider. With these services, we've been able to assist over 460 clients, have outreach and educational workshops on fair housing. We've been able to mediate tenant-landlord issues before they escalate into any further action. We've been very pleased to have assisted veterans, single family fathers, moms, families with children, all low to moderate income. And we've been able to keep families in their homes as well by mediating. We have 5 counselors that have 3 languages available. All our brochures, all our materials are in diverse languages because, as you know, we have a diverse community here in El Cajon. And being a leader and being also a resident for over 40 years in East County, I'm very pleased to have our community come to us with these resources, and being able to assist them and collaborate with the City of El Cajon has been a pleasure. So once again, I'm asking for your support, and thank you again very much. If you have any questions, please.
Thank you very much. Council, any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
George Ibarra.
Hey, George, welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, and staff. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. I'm with CSA San Diego County Fair Housing. I don't come to complain tonight. I come to thank you, the city, the council, and the mayor, staff, for a wonderful code enforcement service that you're giving our city. In particular, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright has been right on for us. He's been assisting us in allowing for tenants to have a fair shake at having the landlords live up to the implied warranty of habitability, Civil Code 1941.1. We see a lot of violations in that, and also he's been very instrumental in being there when I need him, and thank you very much. I would like for you to comment, to give him some kind of thanks on our behalf, and also just for the opportunity to assist people in not becoming homeless. Some people are just a paycheck away from becoming homeless, but through our mediation services there and the different diverse languages, it allows us the opportunity to keep people in their homes, and especially in this weather is what we all should be thinking about, those out on the street. And also, again, I just would like to see some kind of ordinance maybe in the future that would assure for folks to come into a home that is not infested with rats, mice, bed bugs, cockroaches, because after all, none of us would want to live under those conditions. So maybe some kind of ordinance that when a person moves in, there should be a 6-month, at least a 6-month period where there's no pest infestation in the unit. Lately, I've unfortunately been faced with the pest infestation, not of my doing, but I can understand the trauma that comes with that. I've never had that in my life, but at present I'm dealing with that. But again, I just want to thank you, Mr. Wright. This tops in my book, and thank you very much for having me here this evening.
Let's see if there's any questions for you.
Any questions?
No, Bob.
You said for the first 6 months, pest infestation.
At least a 6-month ordinance for when a person moves into the unit, it's pest-free. Cockroaches, bed bugs. Bed bugs could be up to $1,500. And some of these landlords are passing, they know there's a pre-existing condition there, they're passing that cost to the new tenant. And that's really affecting our newcomer communities. And thank goodness that we service them in that language. And it's given us the opportunity to combat that, to let them know that these folks just moved in. It's impossible for them to have brought in that bed bug infestation.
So I think we have some protections. And
well, I just wanted to comment, appreciate Mr. Rivera's comments. It happens to be that in your next city council meeting in 2 weeks, we, including our new housing inspector, L.C. Wright, will be doing a 6-month status report to the city council on the housing inspection program. And that was the new program that this city council started with this current budget year. And L.C. Wright is a special guy. We got the right guy. Yeah. He's already done more than 100 apartment complexes, and we're going to have some before and after photos that I think will be very interesting. So thank you for your
Thank you. Yeah, and that ordinance, I'm sorry for taking more time, but that ordinance is probably something that could be as a disclosure when people move into the unit, that it's fully disclosed that there's no pests in that unit, and that would just make it so much easier for so many people.
I think that makes a lot of sense. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
William Sacconi.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, City staff, my name is Bill Zacconi. I'm the Rotational Shelter Coordinator for Interface Shelter Network. And first, I'd like to say thank you very much for granting us some funds last year. And we would greatly appreciate it if we could be continued to be granted funds this year coming up. Currently, we're using the funds that you have given us for case management services, also to help offset costs for client transportation, as well as some for internal administrative costs. And the money you have granted us in the past has really been a great benefit to us, and we'd like to continue with this partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Okay, any questions? All right, thank you, sir.
Jack Miklos.
Hi, Jack. Nice to see you again.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Mayor, City Council members, and staff, my name is Jack Nicholas. I'm with Crisis House. Like everyone else, I want to begin by thanking you for your years of support. The proposal before Council is for fencing. Just over a year ago, we increased the assets of the property with a kaboom build that is estimated at about $53,000 in value. So we, as part of that project, had gone through and done some landscaping at the advice of law enforcement. We removed some bushes to make it more transparent for patrol cars to see through the property. We replaced it with, believe it or not, cactus, and we have found that the cactus has been trampled and laid upon and just made for homes. Our issue is things such as syringes and human waste left behind on the weekends when we're not there. People ask that, well, you're helping these folks and they do that to your property. Sometimes it's not the folks that we're actually helping, that there are elements that are on the streets that may or may not want help. But the closure of the property to secure it at nights and on the weekends when we're not there would make a world of difference and allow us to spend more time helping people than cleaning up after the others. So we appreciate your consideration for this.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? All right, thanks very much. Hey, please give our best to all your workers and all the people that volunteer. You do good work here in El Cajon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trudy Del Priore.
Hello, welcome.
Meals on Wheels. Hi, I'm Trudy Del Priore, and I'm here representing Meals on Wheels. Good afternoon, Mayor,
Nice to see you
City
again.
Council members, and staff. I want to first of all thank you for your continued support to our program. We are helping quite a number of El Cajon clients, and we do it with El Cajon residents. Our volunteers are also El Cajon residents. And we really are we're trying to help as many people as we can with our program, offering 2 meals a day, 6 days a week delivery. And if they need a meal for Sunday, we will also deliver Sunday's meal on Saturday. So we deliver Monday through Saturday, even on holidays. So all of our clients here in El Cajon are getting meals, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day. They get a meal every single day from us and a delivery. So something that we love to do. And with your continued support and help, we hope to take a huge bite out of hunger.
Thank you very much. Let me see if there are any questions. Thanks. You know, again, everybody here does good work. I really enjoyed my time going out and doing the meals with Meals on Wheels. What I didn't realize is that the food's only part of it.
Yeah.
The people really look forward to the company. And the guy I went with was just so great with the old folks, and spent time with them. They obviously loved him, and it was a really neat experience.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to invite any of you to our March for Meals campaign that we have, where we can take any of you out to deliver to the community. And it would be my honor to take any of you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Our last speaker is Lori Filer.
Hey, welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Council and Mayor. Glad to be here. Lori Filer, representing San Diego Habitat for Humanity. And when we've been pleased to be able to partner with El Cajon in building new homes. And when we build new homes, we like to invest in the existing housing stock and work with families, homeowners that may not be able to keep their home up just quite right or keep it safe. And so we've been able to work with the city this past year, and we'd like to continue working this next year in the same program. There are a lot of great organizations in El Cajon working with families, and we've been able to partner with many of them, talk to many of them, get referrals for families that might need a little bit of help. So that's been a great part of this program. We have found that there are several families, kind of the tough side of the conversation, there are several families that are first-time home buyers that have purchased a home thinking that it was in fairly good shape, or even knowing that it was not in great shape, but because of the housing costs are so high, they've gone ahead and purchased the home anyway. We have an example of one family that thought that the roof had been repaired, but it hadn't really been repaired properly, and now they're a low-income family, and how do they actually fix that roof? And so we've been able to partner with them. The first-time home buyers, and welcome to home ownership. It's all your responsibility, and how do we do that? So we've been able to do that. We also work with families that have some unpermitted work or code violations. It's always nice to be able to do that, because a part of this is preserving the housing stock and getting it into a good shape and in a good place for the neighborhood. We've been, one example, the Barbosa family, a family of 3, ages 72, 62, and 60. And so we've done quite a bit of work with them. A new HVAC system. This family had a house and every window was sealed up, so they couldn't open their windows. And so talking about how you have a good quality of life, but we were able to install a new HVAC system, replace the service panel, replace 7 windows and get rid of some wall-mounted air conditioning systems that they were trying to use. So this family is, talk about aging in place, they're in much better shape. So we'd like to continue this program and continue to partner with the city of El Cajon. And it's all about preserving the housing stock, aging in place, and helping people have a better quality of life, a safe and decent home.
Thank you very much. Let me see if there's any questions. All right, thanks for all the great work your organization does.
We'll keep doing it.
Thanks. That's it, huh?
No more speakers.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion then to close the public hearing. Second. Moved and second, please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
All right, council, discussion?
I'm very happy with all of the staff's suggestions.
Likewise, I've never been here that we haven't made an adjustment.
Well, I'm gonna propose one, but I'll wait. Anybody else?
A question on funding. The funding comes from HUD. Is there some kind of formula that goes into how much El Cajon gets?
There is, and if you'd like to know more about that, Jamie Kasvikas, who manages this program in our department, is here, and she can answer that question.
I guess, is it factored on the income of the area? Is it related to perhaps the number of homeless in the area?
Good afternoon. It is based on population, the age of our housing stock, the type, the tenure, meaning how much is rented or owned. Many things go into that formula, so yes.
And does the count of homeless get factored into the population?
Not for these pots of money, not for CDBG and home. HUD does have a very large homeless program, as you know, through the COC. The Regional Task Force on the Homeless is our local COC.
Okay, great, thanks. One more question for staff on LH Avocado Little House on the installation of solar panels. Is that for purchase? Is that for lease?
I have not seen a bid on that yet. They did talk to a few companies. I don't think that is yet determined, but I will be looking at that carefully. I don't think we would want to use CDBG funds for something that is leased, so we'll be talking to them as they submit good bids on it.
Okay, thank you.
Are you finished, Chief? Under Public Services, I'd like to make a recommendation that in regard to number 13 and number 14, Meals on Wheels, and St. Medal and Sophie's, that we add $5,000 to each of those totals to come from community policing. I think Meals on Wheels is just a great program, and St. Medal and Sophie's does great work as well.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, Mr. Mayor.
That's funny. I actually have 3,000 on each of them.
Think 5 would be okay? Any objections? Staff, any objections?
No, I don't have objections. I just want to apprise the fact, council, of a couple things. This is a fund which has occasionally dwindled over the years, and when it goes down, it is forever prohibited to go back up again with HUD funding. So we backfill with general funds. So the $10,000, assuming we want to keep this program, which I think the council's always supported, it is the largest multiple family housing crime-free in the state, we will backfund with $10,000. In our budget, obviously $10,000 is not that much, but I just have an obligation to tell council.
I appreciate that, and I don't want to take advantage of that. But these particular programs, I think, do such good for the community. So that would be my, well, Gary, why don't you go ahead and make
just a comment. I think hungry seniors are really important, so I agree with you, Mr. Mayor.
Let me make a motion.
And do we do this one section at a time? Or can we do it overall with the mayor's change? Okay, then I'll move that we accept the staff proposal with the suggestions suggested by Mayor Wells.
Moved and seconded, please vote. There you go.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
Okay, I would like to remind everyone that final adoption of the fiscal year 2018-2019 allocations will be presented at the second public hearing scheduled for the 3 o'clock p.m. City Council meeting on April 24th, 2018. And this brings us to the adjournment of the adjourned regular joint meeting of the El Cajon City Council, El Cajon Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 27th day of February 2018, which is now adjourned till Tuesday, March 13th, 2018 at 3 o'clock p.m. Thank you.